You have allowed yourself to bow down to a woman. You have allowed yourselves as men to be told what to do in your own house. Like you've become voiceless in your own house. And in as much as we want to be married as women, we want to be married to men that are in charge. Because the moment you lose that, I can now puppet you around the house, I'll go cheat on you. While you're at work, I'll go cheat on you with a man that makes me feel like a woman. Because you're making me feel like the man of the house. So kunao wanaume wawili wametoka, I think wametoka space. They're being bitches. In like, you're a man. Chances are their wives are cheating with men who are manly. Juu hata kwa space na bibia hata hawako kwa space. Wanaogopa kuongea. Yani wamewekwa uoga kabisa. So, in as much as people want to be married and be men, continue being men in the marriage. Take charge. If you cannot, then leave the marriage. Mwache kukaliwa bwana.
I would have thought by now, JM, you would have jumped in.
Well, no, sorry. I wanted to jump in, but I knew I wasn't the host or co-host, but I thought at some point we were trying to cut what Vera Kenya was sharing, which I thought that we should have listened to, and she's made very strong points in terms of marriage, kwaja kukaliwa and all that. I have taken so much notes because I was here from the beginning, and I thought there's been significant submissions about this concept of marriage and married men and single men. Are there things that Kibe? I think at some point, maybe after 4 months, I'll start take my friend Kibe. The way people say my friend, so that people can listen to you. So I'll start saying my friend Kibe. I think I disagree with you on a few points. And especially the ones that you made in relation to, married people produce homosexuals, lesbians, and everything. Okay, that was a dangerous statement. You have to go back and review that because that really rattled me in a way. But because I was taking notes and I was trying to be patient, we'll come back to that. But to what Vera Kenya has shared, I think it's really...
JM, we can actually explore it right now.
Let's explore that. Okay. Let's go for it. And again, and I'm okay. I'll be disciplined. When I choose to be disciplined, I'm disciplined. So let's explore that. That statement, this is how you made it. And I was taking notes, by the way, because today I was like, you know what? This is a heavy topic that has a far-reaching implication. It's not just just a conversation. This is really a revolution in terms of marriage and married men, which maybe Anthony and I have been bashed so much because you married men are like this. You actually made this. Can I go back to what you said? Can I go back to what you said?
Okay. Yeah, give us the statement.
You talked about, I should have so much notes today, but it was in the context of marriages produce homosexuals, lesbians, prostitutes. In fact, you even say that. And I was like, okay, are you like saying it for the sake of argument? Or is it true that marriages have produced this? That I got lost. Where are we coming from with this?
Have you seen the children of poor people?
I have, because I've worked with men backgrounds and all that. There's a yes, just without explaining.
I mean, that should be self-explanatory.
Right.
I mean, it's obvious that marriages are going to produce, and especially poor men who decide to get children, poor men, okay? Mm-hmm. Poor men who are emotional about what marriage is, when they go and they start a family and they are still poor and they remain poor and they live poorly, then their kids are going to be prostitutes, thugs, and everything. Chances are high.
No. If you want to, can we start with the homosexuals and lesbians?
I'm getting there. Okay, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. So chances are high that everything that the society, that these people who are in this type of setting will go against everything the society stands for. Everything. So none of these things exist in other places. They only exist when these two people come together and produce a child.
Married people or poor people? Because now you're talking about, have you ever gone to sing about poor people? So is it the poor, is it poverty that produced that, or is it marriage? I'm confused. So that's the line of thought.
So now we're on criminals and prostitutes, okay? So criminals and prostitutes are going to come from where? Are going to come from the poor people. Now on the other side, the rich people or the middle class people like you are going to produce homosexuals, lesbians, and all these LGBTQ that we are seeing out here in the world today.
Okay, my brother, you're going to get in trouble.
And then...
Cheki Agnes ni mkulima. Agnes ameshinda milioni 1 kwa promotion ya Shine Kenya. Shinda mamili kutoka Safaricom. Juu ya hiyo story, siku hizi anataka kuitwa Agi. Alianza kununua gumboots za red, za blue, hata za yellow. Ati ndio confuse matope. Amenunulia kuku wake nyumba iko na chimney. Na bado doziko. Unaonaje vile amespendo zake? Basi wewe chagua vile utafanya na milioni yako. Kuwa bingwa na Shine Kenya Shinda Mamili promotion. Nunua bundles kuanzia shilingi 20 ama tuma au lipa na M-Pesa kuanzia shilingi 200 kupata entry moja ya promo. Kuna milioni ya kushinda kila wiki na grand prize ya shilingi milioni 5. Tembelea My Safaricom or M-Pesa app ama piga *344# *444# au *544# kununua bundle au kutuma M-Pesa ili ushinde. Sisi wote ni mabingwa.
Wrong all the time when I'm trying to really get animated and get emotional. My point is like, I don't think this is tied to whether people are married or who are religious and all that. I think it's like maybe a subjective data that we're trying to use. The point I'm trying to arrive at is that you met, this is how you said it, by the way, that you married people produce
in droves, you're producing. Okay, just mute your mic. Let me explain the point properly. All right, as George would say, catch a bubble. So the marriage that is there right now, I asked earlier the question, what purpose does it serve? And nobody was able to give me an answer direct because it serves no purpose right now. But
no, I'll give an answer.
Hold up, Jayam, hold up. Let me finish the point. I'll give you the mic. So I asked, what purpose does it serve? Because those days, it used to serve a purpose where the marriage was protected. But right now, the marriage is not protected. So it serves no purpose because right now, if the woman gets the law in her favor, then she can destroy the man. And we are seeing this with America and all these other developed countries. So where marriage works is where the society is still involved in marriages, where the woman can still be not only answerable to her husband, but to her father. Because her father is the one who can kill her, not her husband. She fears her father more than she fears her husband. Now, if there is no father in the mix, or if that father is weak and is coming from a society like this one that we have created for ourselves now, which is producing homosexuals, thieves, and prostitutes, then the marriage is doing more harm than good. Because the only way a man can survive in a marriage in 2024 is first he has to submit his will to the woman. He has to completely let the woman lead. If he doesn't do that, the society cannot allow him to be a married man. That's why they have to have prenups. Because if this man wants the love of a woman and he knows that she's going to turn on him one day, they're going to have to sign somewhere. So he knows his weakness is pulling him into this relationship, but he's hoping that if this prenup will save him, because he knows what it does, what a marriage does to a man without a prenup, especially if he has something to lose. So this is just the reality on the ground. So why do you think these kids are resisting, are going against their parents? They're going against their parents because they have seen that their parents are liars. Their parents have been faking the whole time. Kingston, mute your mic. Kingston. Yeah. So marriage, as is constituted, is producing the worst of the worst people. And we need to take a step back from this shit and ask, hey, what are we doing with this thing? Why are people running to singlehood once they get into marriage? Why are women killing their husbands? I mean, why are we pretending like this shit doesn't happen? Women are killing their husbands. There are reports every day of women killing their husbands, husbands killing their men. He's become so emotional to a point where he argues and goes to a point where he kills his woman. And the woman, on the other hand, because she wants the property that she found this guy with, now she's going to be killing him slowly, poisoning his food every day. These are the realities on the ground. So if this thing was such a good thing, then it would be able to sell itself and there would be no argument. The argument exists because there are doubts. And the research is telling us what you guys are saying is a lie. So if you have a good marriage, then you probably wouldn't be listening to us. There would be we would not even skizana even for a second.
Okay, seriously. Yeah. You really. Okay, let me give you maybe one reality check in 1 minute. Number one, in my own estimate and assessment, your argument comes from a worldview that is more Western, heterosexual, one man, one woman argument. Let's begin with that, please, without any other sexual orientation. Because I've listened to this, by the way, and you refused, you actually declined some other guy, I don't know, he's probably gone right now, who tried to bring in a concept of what happens to our the worldview that let's talk about the Islamic faith, which I've been privileged to study, that talks about, like, unless if you are able to support up to the 4 wives, and I wish Abdul could confirm that you're able to that, but you shut that person up, and I was like careful to listen to that, but you. And then the other person just mentioned something about a sexual orientation. And I didn't
No.
think you were very comfortable.
JM, you have to be factual, because I shut Abdul up because when I...
not Abdul, was someone else. No, Abdul, I understood where you shut Abdul up. I will shut him up on the time, he knows. No, it was someone else.
The other guy, I also shut him up because when I asked him what his body count was, he said 1.
Oh, yeah. Okay, now that
and I was like, why do men lie like this? Because you could hear his kid in the background.
Yeah, that was a joke.
And if his kid is in the background, then his wife is there. So he cannot say anything the wife doesn't want to hear. Because if he says more than 1, he has to explain to her because he's not in charge.
Who is the other person? Yeah, that's a joke. I mean, okay, now that I got it. Okay, let me just, because I know there's so many people want to talk. My point is this.
Let's give Femi a chance. Even you, JM, you can speak forever. There's no point you're going to add to that. Just hold on. In fact, me and you mute.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Femi, jump in here, as we've talked for too long.
Kibe. Kibe.
I hear you.
Do you know, no matter how much you try to tell these people about the marriage, that the system and the society have to accept and change, they will not hear it. The religion and marriage, they are cults. Let's start there. If you are not in it, you are evil. If you are in it, you should stay with these conditions. If you try to go against those conditions, yours is not working. You should go towards this. How did we get there? Through the religion. Is religion not a cult? If you're worshiping, I've never had someone criticizing someone who is in PCA, in Catholic, in any other church, but they will criticize the atheist and humanist.
who do not want to associate with this. The same thing in marriage. They'll keep recruiting for misery. If it is so good, why is it being marketed? Should we be seeing and observing it from a distance and saying, I want to be in it because I'm seeing the benefit in it? The same reason we have the Gen Z revolting. The leadership has changed and people don't want to accept that. They have watched the leadership that we have had before and they are tired of it. They have watched what the marriage is bringing on the table and they are tired of it. They want to change it. And that is why you find some of these Gen Zs are very okay in their friends gay and not gay, and others being in a different engagement. I would like to point out about what you said about you find prostitutes coming from the ghetto and gay coming out from the middle class. The reason is the middle class child is no longer engaging in finding food. He's there to seek entertainment. The child from the ghetto is done to prostitution because he's not yet, the stomach is empty, so he's going to the street to find the food. So when will he be able to engage and know the difference between taste of different sexuality? People need to come up with better solution if they want this marriage to coexist, to continue coexisting within our society. Either the society changes or people move away from this thing.
How is this a problem of marriage?
Come again?
How is this the problem of marriage? Because you cited two specific cases of the ones coming from the ghetto, the ones coming from the middle class, this was the one. How is this the problem of marriage? I'm confused about the premise here.
Is marriage not producing these children who are going to engage in either activity?
But Femi, children are not produced in marriages alone.
If I'm not in marriage, listen, if I'm not in marriage as a woman and I decide to get pregnant and I decide to seek medicine to get pregnant, do you think the amount of money that I'm paying to get that, I'll not be able to sustain my child to be able to engage in other activities other than going to the street? We need to accept the value in this marriage has changed. And that's why you find a number of people are going to partnership rather than in marriage. And in partnership, someone said it's about cheating. Some people don't even think about this sex as much as we want to say it is there.
So, Femi, let me ask.
Marriage is about your own. Pardon?
I wanted to ask, what is wrong? Are you saying marriage is wrong or the ideology behind the marriage is wrong?
The first marriage ideology has changed and people I'm not saying it is wrong. Probably your ideology of now, what marriage is offering you, it's good for you. But majority who are saying no to it, they agree that it's whatever the ideology is being sold is not good for them.
You need to get out.
Okay, Femi Kidogo, Femi is raising a point I've had now very many times. Femi, are you a Gen Z? Or a millennial?
Do I need to be in a generation?
No, you know why I'm asking that? Because I was in another platform, I think we were with JM and Samuel, and a Gen Z said the same things you're saying. He said, one of the reasons we are this broken is because the first place that failed us was home. To grow with single man. That's the reason I've asked that question, respectfully. Because umesema tu kitu mtu anilikuwa nimesikia.
I'm listening to them. People are not listening to them. The society has a fucked up way of thinking that people have to die for them to start reasoning, which is not ideally. It's ideally wrong. People don't have to die for them to start changing their ways.
Okay, so
like now, you want to tell me the government cannot pull back and just give them some voice?
Government is not a solution for everything.
I'm not saying who is the society?
Yeah, it's some things you gotta think for yourself.
Are we not the government? Are we not the society?
No, some things you gotta think for yourself.
Huh? You and me. And what makes up the society? Is it not you and me?
So, Femi, let me ask.
The society defines the law that we live under, so you cannot go away from this. They govern us. How do they govern us? By looking at what we want and implementing it.
So, Femi, my last question is, do you believe society is breaking down the way it's breaking down because it stems from a broken home? So, inakuja tu cascade juu.
The society is not breaking up. Some people, a minority, are fighting it to break the chain of what the society has. And that minority is Akina Kibe, Akina Takakali.
What the fuck?
They are saying, if I'm going to this and you want me to go to this, it's time you change this to be able to accommodate me in it.
All right, and to Kibe, before I really take a nap, I know there's so many people who need to contribute. I'm gonna do a 30 minutes challenge. I don't have so much time. Kibe, I have a 30 minutes challenge that anybody that's gonna contribute to support your movement and the work that you're doing, which we all appreciate, by the way. My team is gonna match that up. So you give 100, you give 500, you give 1,000, whatever you give. For the next 30 minutes, my team is going to match that up for that. And I think that's going to be my final submission. But this is heavy conversation. I like when people really get into this depth. And this is really how we change the society. Because then we talk, we disagree, but respectfully do that. So, Andrew, if you can, or whatever your team, I know you have a big team, who's gonna share with the people in this team, 10 of them, but please, it's the only thing is restricted to up to 100,000. It's gonna be, I can't give more than that. So anyway, so if you guys can have like submission, support, do this, let's help this movement because this is real deal. I just like, and when Kibe and I are on extremely opposite side of the universe, but I want to hear this more and more. So if you can share with the folks here on how they can support, and then we can have my Jam is on my team. My team is Golden Standard that I run, and we can support that. Thank you so much, and this is gold for the sake of it. So God bless, and I'll be watching. I'll be listening. Thanks. God bless.
So, folks, Momeskia, we have 100,000 to raise. There's 100,000 sitting in JM's pocket, and we can withdraw immediately. 100 of us give a G. Come on, straight up. 100 of us, starting with Anthony, James, Wasike. They already have 3 Gs. Pangakali, another maybe 5 Gs. Beta Kenya nayo kizungu yake haezi kosa thao. We're already there. Femi, with that intelligence. Thank you very much for that challenge. I appreciate it. James Muriuki, jump in here. This is your moment. James
Can you hear
Muriuki.
James?
No, he's not talking, man. All right, Wasike.
Kibe, can you hear me?
I can hear you, yeah.
So, first of all, Pangamkali, if I go wrong, correct me. There's something we talked somewhere in a group, and it was very categorical. You know, these people who are in the church always come out to tell people that marriage is a good thing. I don't know, there's companionship, there's something good in it. First, I'm not married, but this is what I've seen or observation I've made. Your woman only becomes your wife if there are kids there. Without kids in the equation, that woman is no longer your wife. So a woman becomes a wife only if she has given you kids. Without kids in the equation, she no longer qualifies to be your wife. She's just a stranger. And traditionally...
Wasike, this is a traditional setup, right? The definition of tradition. Okay, I get you. Keep going.
And traditionally, these people used to believe a woman comes into the to the family for continuity of the legacy of the family to bear the kids. But for us who have been brainwashed with these ideas of the church and the people around us, telling us that marriage, there is love, there's companionship, I don't know what. Now you pick your people are, let's say for me, my people are Western, but I come in Nairobi, pick a woman because I love the woman. And the church says, marry this woman, and they bring us together in a wedding. From the word go, the society is not aware of this woman. They don't know if this woman is good. They don't know if she has used the tools for long, their body is messed up. But for me, I say there's love. So the church is really messing up people. The thing is, that society which you used to have arranged marriages, whereby you go pick up a woman for your son. Tell your son that this is the woman I'm giving you, because you know very well this woman will come in that family purposely to give birth to kids. Understanding very well that this woman is a wife to your son only after children are there. Things to do with love, I don't know, these many things are just a waste of your time. Lastly, Kibe, you said something about lesbian and gays. They come from marriages. Mere observation. Look at these gays and lesbians. They cannot reproduce. So where are these people coming from? They are coming from the marriages and the people having sex, the male and female. Or is that not a normal observation you can make? Huh? Number two, lastly, this is the last point. When we come to marriages, the lady here said something that if the marriage is not working for you, you can leave. But leaving marriage only works for women. If a woman decides to leave the marriage right now, the society will be happy will be happy and tell her, Madam, you deserve the best. Go leave that marriage. There's greener pasture outside. But if the man decides to leave that same marriage, the woman will take the man to court, and the court will put this man on child support, I don't know, ex maintenance, wife maintenance, ex-wife maintenance, all this shit. So now it becomes a question. Why is it that when a woman decides to leave the marriage for her own good, but when a man decides to leave the marriage, it's not good. He has to be burdened forever. Thank you, guys.
James, are you back?
Yeah, I'm back. And you guys are still talking about marriage. But I think this is one of those topics, kama tu religion. Kuna wale wanafuata, kuna wale wafuati. But kila mtu anaishi maisha tu. Watu wameabuse the institution. I think what has been sold to the people has been a lot of cosmetical marriages. Most people want to blame the institution than blaming themselves, because for marriage to work, you have to look inward. Like, I think marriage is a good thing. There's a growth that it gives you. If you allow it to become what it is, marriage is actually the best mirror ever. You learn so much about yourself. So you have to grow, and it's not easy. And that's what most people always run away from. Utakuta watu wengi wana run into kukunywa sana, ama some things too, like wase utafuta escape badala ya kujiface. Lakini ukiingia kwa marriage unakuta unajiface. So bado unahepa hiyo marriage, sababu venye tu hata ukiwa single wewe hepa yourself, ndio unajihepa tu ukiwa kwa hiyo marriage. So I think it's a good thing if you have the balls for it. If you don't have the balls for it, don't even try. But anyways, at the end of it all, kama tu religion. Chaguzi ni wako.
So, James, before you go, JM has given us, JM is a pastor, he runs several churches. He has given us a challenge. If we can raise 100,000, a maximum of 100,000, his church will donate to our cause 100,000. So I'm looking for you because I want you to put our Mchanga. Kibe has put his number. Good. So let's contribute to that number you are seeing there, the tip jar, and we do this. Where is Kibe? You know that, James, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Sultan, I've been seeing.
We trade with excellence. We stand tall while others crumble, confident in a broker who's as strong as you are. Trade with unmatched financial security. Excellence, born to trade.
The number is at on the Jumbotron. I don't know if you can be able to see it. After the Motivational Monday, Andrew Kibe Jar, you can see the number. Can you see the number?
What tu nisome Sultan? So for your contribution, send them to 0712 915936. 0712 915936. Sultan, the mic is yours.
Yeah, good morning, Anthony, Kibe, and the rest who are the podium. I've been here for a minute, and I've been listening to the space and the people who are so much against marriage. I've been pro-marriage for a long time in these spaces, and I've been bashed here several times, but it's understood where people are coming from. I've been around people who have been broken down with women, who have broken down their relationship due to their own less information or coming from a background whereby they've just had this information on a negative side, whereby every time, every conversation you hear is about negativity. Marriage is not an easy thing, and I've never said that marriage is all bed of roses. It's something you really need to work on it. For anything to succeed in life, you really have to put an effort on it. It's not about me and you. It's not about me and the woman. It's about us moving this wheel together to a betterness of our family. Marriage institution is something which was instigated long time ago. There was a good reason why the marriage institution was advocated. It was a way of harmonizing a relationship of women. It was a way of bringing in a next generation in a modern society, or even if it's an older society, whereby these kids are taught manners, are taught how to live with other people, where that the information which is supposed to come out is supposed to come out from the two human beings who have produced a seed which is brought to this world, whereby it's supposed to coexist with other human beings. So we see a lot of this negativity because we forgot our roots. We forgot where we're coming from. We used somebody else's tradition by putting us in them, by saying that singlehood is the best solution, which is a lie. Singlehood has never been happiness. Singlehood has never produced anything concrete. And whoever tells you that singlehood is happiness, like Kibe is saying, I don't know about them, but it is just it's the same advocacy way it was just produced from the beginning, that marriage is a negative thing. So when you when you hear the same thing produced now and again, it ends up sounding as the truth. But initially, marriage is not the truth. We need to work. It's just like business. You see all the businesses which are successful, these people put an effort in it. They dedicated their time, they sacrificed their hours, they used other ideas, they research, and they made it work. So the people who will come out shout the most that business do not work are the lazy ones, are the ones who came in thinking that it's something that easy. I'll jump in, I'll start making profit overnight, I will buy big cars, I'll buy big mansionettes, you see, they come with big dreams, whereby they don't want to put the effort. It's the same way as marriage. You have to put the time, you have to put the sacrifice, you have to be there for them. And actually in the relationship, in marriage, you really have to be there for it to be able to work. And you have to look.
So you have to, so Ali. So you have to stop being a man to be a husband. That's what you're saying.
No, you don't stop being a man. No, you don't stop being a man.
Because being a man has all these things you're talking about, they don't exist in manhood. because you have to be there for them. What are you talking about, my guy?
Kibe, for even a business, let's forget about marriage. Let's put up a business. You want to start a business. If Kibe, you are not there, you don't put the ideas, you don't put the effort, you don't invest, you don't put capital.
I agree with you. Ali, every relationship, including yours and mine, because we talk on WhatsApp every now and then, will need work, right? Every relationship needs work. The same work you'd put into with your wife is the same work you'll put in with your daughter, same work you'll put in with your dog. So there's nothing new you're telling us. We're just saying that the results on the ground are not what you're saying, bro. So all this work that you're talking about doesn't make sense because we are seeing the men going into marriage, the way when they're coming out of marriage, there is no benefit to him. There's nothing he has added to this world. In fact, he's walking out of marriage worse than when he went in. So what's the benefit of this, of marriage? What's the benefit of marriage to the man in 2024? And don't tell me,
a very big benefit.
Don't tell me kids, because kids are not the responsibility of a marriage.
It is a responsibility.
And hold up, and hold up 1 second. I just wanted to mention the challenge, and people have already started sending M-Pesa. So JM, your challenge has been taken up by Rosaline10. Thank you, Rosaline. We got 500 bob. So we shall tally all that and see what you're going to send. And there's somebody who sent 1,000 bob from Premier Bank, Kenya. Doesn't say the name. It just says it's 1,000 bob sent. So those are the only 2 people who have sent so far. So we have 1,500.
The challenge with that is that we have 15 minutes, guys. Okay, this is the reason why we do this, because then Andrew continues to be as authentic as he is to move this forward. And I needed to make a simple correction on what Anthony said. This is not being contributed by the church. Please don't put him in trouble because then I'm gonna be frogged. So this is contributed by a different organization that I run as, but it's good for us to support an authentic conversation. And please, hata kama ni kidogo ile uko nayo, please submit something, share whatever it is, and then my prayer is that we can run these challenges maybe 2 times a week and all that to support whatever we can help. And thanks, Andrew, for sharing this. But I just want to be clear that no, this is not from the church. Please. Msiweke in trouble alafu nianze kufukuzwa. My point is that I just... Yeah. No, it's okay. I understood it, but I just want to make sure that, please, if we contribute 100,000 from our team here, which is how many people are we? We are over, okay. Pamoja na wale wenye wanajificha, we are over, we have been here over 1,000 people. Mtu akitoa kidogo, and then we also get our team giving, if we do 100,000 from the group, and then we give 100,000 from the support, we need to raise 200,000 for this show. And then next time we do something, this is going to give us authentic movement than Andrew anze kununuliwa. I'm just kidding. But anyways, thanks, Andrew. I just wanted to clarify something because I know Anthony did not make that statement in bad faith, but he simply said it because he thought, no, I'm a pastor, but it is not coming from the church. I have other organizations. Thanks, guys. Sorry about that.
All right. Thank you, Pastor JM, for setting the ball rolling. It's very hard to sell yourself. So when somebody does it, I appreciate it. I mean, how else are we surviving? That's true. Pastors know how to get money from people. Look at this. There's Ivy Shelmith has sent 500 bob. Very nice. Thank you very much, Ivy. Sasape has also sent 1,000 bob. So that's 1,000 plus 1. So that's 3,000. So we have 3,000 large ones. Good one. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you to everyone who, Pangakali is called Ndovukali. He's looking for his M-Pesa phone under his truck.
By the way, I know the guy. I know the guy, if you didn't know that. So Pangakali, do 10K. I'll do 10K in return. So Pangakali, if you can hear me, do 10K, I'll do 10K. Go for it. Thanks, Andrew. Bye. I don't want to interrupt the show because this becomes disruptive, but I'll be quiet.
Hey, disruptive. Oh, no, this is a moment. This is like when Pastor Nganga starts, he takes the guitar. This is the moment. Pangakali. All right, Femi, go ahead.
Kibe, can I say something to JM?
Yeah, go ahead.
JM, I heard you're a church leader. Do you mind helping the movement through the church? Because as we all know, church is the biggest influencer in the world.
I told Andrew to come and speak to. We challenge each other. Back in the day, by the way, it's been. Unajua mimi nianza kuingia to Andrew Kibe's spaces. I was bashed. I almost got like at watu wa kanisa, the church people almost like completely like kicked me out. I'm like, I'm your pastor, so I'm trying to give you authentic, serious conversation. Yes, we'll get to the church to answer your question. And reason being having people that have on a different philosophical reasoning, but they are logical and respectful. I agree with that. And that's where I come from for the sake of it. So yes, we will get into this. But right now, my prayer and hope is that let this movement be empowered to make a difference. So that when it comes to the church, it's not like disrespectful. It's more of like, yes, think this way, logical, come out of this, whatever, you know what I mean? So yes, I'm willing to address that. But for now, please accept me as JM, not as a church. I don't know if that makes sense. So that we don't confuse the whole movement. I'm not coming in as a church. I'm coming in as a person who embraces this philosophical, deep argument so that kila mtu anapewa chance ya kushare where you coming from. And Kibe knows about church more than I do, by the way, for the record, because I've studied it. Yeah.
I'm working with church and I have seen the power behind the church. And that is why I'm pushing to lean towards the church. I have over 2,000 church leaders contacts with me. And I have seen you guys, the influence and the power that you have. I would love to have something to work together towards this. We need a change, and the change has to come from there.
But you have to get open-minded people to be able to listen to this school of thought.
Yes, they are very open-minded.
Yeah, because watu wengine watasema tu ni maombi tu na kila kitu in prayers, and then we lose the whole conversation. So for me, hata if you look at my messages, uko kwa Andrew Kibe's space. Oh my gosh. Mimi hata nilikuwa nimefukuza, but because I'm independent, I've never earned from the church, by the way. Never been paid by the church for all the time I've worked. So that gives me independence of confessing. So we can do that, but let's hear what Kibe and Anthony are advocating so that we change the movement. So come on, unanielewa. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. I don't know if you understand Swahili. But if you understand... You get my point?
Yes, I'm understanding you.
Yes.
Yes, I understand.
So my point is simple.
But the people I'm telling you, we are working together. Get this, I'm a humanist and they are Christians and we are working together. So I think they are very open-minded. I'd love to include you in the list.
By all means. By all means.
Yes.
By all means.
I'll chat you in your inbox. Let's give Kibe and Anthony back their mic to be able to coordinate.
You see how me and Kibe are a democracy. We've allowed you and pastor, a humanist and a pastor, to have a conversation. Sultan, you were saying something, then you go to the husband.
Yeah, because we were having a disagreement with Kibe because he's expecting something good to come out of anything without putting the effort. And everything in life is about arrangement. Everything in life is about rules. Everything in life is about organization. If you don't have those three principles, then whatever you do in life, you'll never succeed. And that's what was my argument with Kibe. And people go into relationship hoping that this is a bed of roses. Once you are there, you just sit and wait for results to come without putting the effort. And that effort is essential to any human being in any relationship for anything to be successful. And I am really pro marriages. Why? Because I tell people, people go to relationship with a different perspective. If I go to that relationship hoping that I want it to work, I want to have kids, I want to make this person to be a better half of me, so that when whatever we do, we are not looking at each other as enemies. We are there to better our lives, so that this person is supposed to be my friend. He's supposed to be my right-hand person, that all decisions I make, it is supposed to come from both of us. I know I am the head, but for me to have an understanding with her, for us to live casually, cordially, for her input also.
But Ali, I'm struggling with what you're saying and the reality, because this is just a good game. But on the ground, this cordially doesn't exist, bro. People are taking each other out every day. So you guys are blinding yourself to the reality. And you're saying, whatever I am seeing does not exist, but I want to talk about what I think should exist. Bro, do you know the rate of single motherhood? Do you know the rate of single motherhood in Kenya is the highest anywhere else in Africa?
Yeah, but it doesn't really matter, Kibe.
No,
everybody's journey is different.
No. Our society is broken, and we need to confront that. We need to confront why this is not working. Our society is completely broken, and instead of us confronting that, we're still pushing people to the same nonsense for them to go get destroyed. We're seeing men losing their masculinity every time they go in there because this system has been made to break them. But you don't want to see that. Ali, you see, Ali, hold up. Ali, you see, you are lucky. You came from the old system. So for you, it makes sense. For you, it makes sense because your wife still remembers what she was told by your dad. She still remembers what she was told by your mom. Your mom is still there to put her in check if her mom is not alive. So these people still exist. But now you release, if you allow a man and a woman to go out by themselves and go start a family, yet this man has not become a man yet, then that woman could destroy him. He could do the same to her. We have seen that. And now those people are afraid of, and those people now are afraid of being together. Okay, this is now where we are going. So I want you to understand that. Because they're not seeing any security in what their parents are doing. So they are afraid of being together. So now the black woman is resisting the man. So the man is the most single he's ever been in all his life. In Kenya, everywhere else where there are black people. There have never been a time when there are more single people than today. Do you agree with that?
Yes, I agree with that. Because
that tells you that the feedback they are getting on the street is what is keeping them single. Otherwise, we would all be running away from being single.
So but now, if something goes wrong, we always sit down and rewind, and if things were working some time back, what went wrong? So we sit down and restructure it and give it the new information where it's needed. We see where it needs to be removed and what needs to be removed and what needs to be implemented.
Maybe so we cannot trust exactly, Ali. Ali, that's where we are today. We are saying this thing is not working. So we have to ask ourselves, either we reconstitute this for the betterment of the society, or we let it implode or explode, and then we can now create something new. Because we can decide this thing is not working. Completely. It has expired just like the telephone booth. Maybe its time was there when there were no roads, there was no electricity, we had not built this world that we're seeing now. But right now, the woman rarely needs the man. She has 6-7 men on her phone. So how is she going to have only one man in her life? She has 6-7 men. There's a man who comes to fix her car. There's a man who comes to fix her water. Another one comes to fix her light. She can get a man to wash her clothes if she wants to. So there are men in her life that she doesn't need one man. So you go to interrupt her life right now. What do you think that is going to look like? Men are not surviving in this kind of relationships.
But now if we accept whatever is happening wrong and we sit back and lay back and say,
we're
now
not accepting.
Wrong, let's raise our hands. We just forget about it.
No, Ali. We're not accepting. We're saying the society is getting broken. And so far, the first thing that we need to do is switch off the main pipe. And the main pipe that is causing all this problem is marriage in 2024. If you take away marriage, you've taken away so many problems from the man right now. So if that is...
No, Kibe, you cannot take away the marriage, Kibe. No, that's where we are going wrong, Kibe. If something is broken, we don't cut it. If a hand is dirty, we don't cut it. We clean it.
It's obsolete.
It's
obsolete. It is not necessary anymore. It's like having a Nokia 3310 right now. Do you think you'd look cool if you have a Nokia 3310 right now?
But you see, Sultan, marriage is not about being cool. Marriage
is about what?
As marriage is not about
there is no display of ego in 2024 more than a man going down on one knee to marry a woman. That is the highest display of ego. So this is not necessary. This is for you. It's a very personal thing. This is your ego at work. Yeah, your ego is one which wants kids. This is your madness on display.
But you see, Kibe, and I've been saying this from the beginning. There are marriages that work, and marriages work, like Sultan is saying. So if you want to put in the work, get married, because it builds a certain discipline in a person. Okay, so you can't go into marriage if
what discipline? What discipline does it build in you that you didn't have?
Let me give you
marriage?
Exact good, Kibe, and I'll if you give me time. You see the way today I've been quiet.
No, just go to the discipline. Don't tell me about time. Just go.
Discipline.
What discipline?
Discipline is one thing. One, it gives you focus. That focus is a discipline by itself.
Nonsense.
Why is it nonsense?
If a man has no focus, he has no focus.
Tony, can you give me a second?
Yeah, okay. Sure.
If a man has no focus,
Kibe has rattled me. Kibe has rattled my Nokia 3310. That's all I used to have, by the way, on a serious note. But guys, this one thing that we are trying to do. And this is not something that Kibe does. It's something that is uncomfortable. But for us who buy into the mission and the vision and the work we are doing, we are asking you, ukiona pale juu imeandikwa Motivational Monday Andrew Kibe ja 0712915936. If you are, whatever amount you send, hata kama ni 100, 200, 300, we are going to match that. And this is for the purpose of pushing this conversation and movement iendelee mbele. So before we kind of close, si mtu ajaribu tu share something, like just send something in, and then okay.
Let me update kidogo. So 2 more have come in. Brian Omondi gave 500 bob. That's okay. My mathematics is on point. Edwin Musembi gave 1,500. So JM has been so gracious to us today. He said, whatever it is that we and people are evil. Somebody has requested money from me. Yeah. While we're doing this, them they're requesting. Life is good, jolly. All right. So JM has been very gracious. He said, if we could raise 100,000 bob, he will match it. So we are on the road to 100,000.
Yeah, sasa, but there's a time limit. Nilikuwa nafikiria to by 6, but sasa najua kuna watu wengine wameingia saizi. We are giving an extra 15 minutes. If okay, Andrew is gonna bash me by saying by God's grace. Okay, so if you guys can do like in the next 15 minutes, if you can add just add a little bit. You don't have to have much. Ni kidogo tu, and then we support. We will have another challenge, but the reason for this is to keep this movement authentic and whoever comes along the way itakuwa siku ingine. But for now, tafadhali, if you are able to share kidogo kama ndio umeingia, Andrew will explain to you how this works. So I probably have another 15 minutes.
Right. Anthony Mugo has sent 1,000 bob. Thank you, Anthony Mugo. Is Anthony, Anthony,
That's
is
me,
that your other name? See.
Yes.
At least, Mugo.
Actually, it's
Mugo.
500 from me and 500 from my wife. You see how couples work.
I'm only a married man who would say that.
And that's okay. He's trying to manipulate us into that movement of like conversation, like wife and husband. Anthony,
spoke like a truly sat-on man. He has to acknowledge his wife every step. Oh, if it wasn't for my wife, I wouldn't be here today. Hey, no wonder you use the word focus.
But no,
because for you, you are sick, and then your wife made you well. So your wife to you is Jesus.
Even
Ali is the same. You're sick people. Right now, your tumor is keeping you alive.
Let me tell you something, guys. We must believe that as much as we're in a messed up society right now, some of us do actually have marriages that work. It's not easy. We've deliberately chosen to work on it. The same way we are working on what JM is trying to make us do right now. We are trying to raise funds for a movement. Okay, for a cause. Marriage is a cause. It's a calling.
And then, let me tell you something. Andrew Kibe, because he's like a big wig, wakati wa kwanza niliingia kwa space nikasema something about my wife. Shit. It went so bad. Yani, his team attacked me. They even have a video online attacking me. I'm not against what you're doing. I'm simply demonstrating. One day I said something, and Andrew Kibe can attest to this. I said that, okay, about protection. There was a question about protection. Okay, I didn't know about how to shoot guns. By the way, my wife has, owned guns and everything, and she does shooting. And then they bashed me and like, oh, you're protected by a woman and everything. I'm like, I simply made a statement of facts. It wasn't about, oh my gosh. I was like, I will stay here until people understand who I am, because your people attacked me. Please, Andrew Kibe, I have to tell you, your people attacked me so bad. They made videos about they call me the evil pastor from Ohio. Remember, I don't know if you remember that. I was being called the evil pastor from, oh my gosh, it was so bad. But I was like, I know what this movement is about.
but Pastor, let's be honest. I have always given you a mic.
But what happened?
Everything else. Forget about the team. As long as you come here and you get a mic, if today we have a fight, and you come here tomorrow and you still get the mic, then it means that it's all good.
No, you've always given me a fight, and then when I'm not making sense, I shut up. You know that.
Thank you. Thank you.
But yeah, I do that. And again, anybody who has been in your space when I'm there, they know that I shut up when I'm like, okay, I'm not making sense today. But that thing that was made captioning me like there's an evil pastor from Ohio, I'm like, what the? Like, really? Like, I'm
Pastor, you're about to cast. Hold up, Pastor. I want to mention somebody who's just sent 400 bob. Paul Odhiambo. Thank you very much, Paul Odhiambo. I got you 400 bob. So, Pastor, we are still moving. We have another 10 minutes. So
and we need to move. Let me tell you what's going to happen. Because your movement and your topics are deep, and then sometimes I take lots of notes. We need to talk on the side today that I take a lot of notes and I pay a lot of attention. So when I see people really buying into the movement, it excites me. So kama mtu atatuma hata kama ni moja 50 shillings, whatever it is, it really moves us forward.
Very good. I like the fact that unataka sisi tujinunue wenyewe, si ndio? And you know that's
how you stay. That ndio unajua ukinuliwa Anthony atakuwa co-host wako. Mimi najua. I know how this game goes. Ukinuliwa, this game is gone.
Bentil Baraza, thank you very much. We have received 500 bob. Appreciate it. Thank you so very much. Hey, Pastor, kumbe unaweza alafu Pastor, I wanted to now that I have all of you and your attention here, there's an event I'm doing on the 31st. And Anthony, I want you to come. Anthony, do you have a son? Or can we loan your son for that day?
My firstborn is a son.
How old is he?
Duncan is 12.
Good. He's the perfect age. So I'm having a father and son event on the 31st, and I want you to come through. Ali doesn't have any children right now. Ali, too bad you can't come. And you're old, but you can come as a spectator. And anybody else who's here. So I've received, hold up, let me keep mentioning these names as they said. Dismas Kisilu, thank you. I got your 1,000 bob. Who's here? The Hustler, you want to jump in?
Yeah. You know, I wanted to add on that point of you're struggling with married men because of one reason. Hatu wapendi ukweli. You know, they get into marriage when they don't have a clue about it, bwana. Mtaenda na ukoto wa smart. So even here, they won't tell you the truth. Because unacheki, like a country like Africa is where we have the highest populations. A country like Nigeria, sasa unajiuliza mbona a third world country iko such a high population na development hata iendelei. Wale watu, the people that don't have a clue of what is going on in this world, ama the poorest of the people in the world, ndio napata watoto wengi sana. It's because weaker people ain't shit people are just joining and getting married to get kids that ain't shit, thinking that these kids will be anything, and ile fuck up iko hapa ni ngori sana. And these people won't accept that. That's why mtu atashikilia hizo stories zake za marriage forever. It's hard for you to get such a person to come to this other side of reality, because I don't deal in reality. We're dealing with the woman mwenye ako sahi, tunadeal na mtu pia sisi, our character yetu in this 21st century. The men right now are so philanderous. Tunataka kukula kila mwanamke, we are just hata tujielewi. Then you go and get into marriage with a person that are kwa states kama wewe. Unadhani mta build anything? 10 years down the line, you are nothing. Your wife pays nothing, mnasumbuana hapo, because you are not the right people for each other. Amko mmekaa chini vizuri mkaangalia
you know what you're trying to say, the Hustler. Just meet your mic kidogo. I ongeza your point. Because umesema mtu wa streets kama mimi. Unacheki mtu kama mimi kukaa na dem will be very hard, because I have been on the streets, so I can smell, even when it's not there, I can smell it. I can smell deception, and I'm always looking out for it because of all the trauma and the memory that I have of that. So I cannot be a good husband. If a woman has been in the streets, she cannot make a good wife, because the streets are calling. Okay? So you have to understand where you are. Because right now, a lot of people are leaving their homes damaged. And the society is still telling them, get into marriage. Marriage is not for damaged people. Because if you're damaged, you're going to raise damaged kids. You won't even know when you're doing it. But where do you think the homosexuals are coming from? Marriage is not for damaged people. It's for clean. That's why it used to happen under the watchful eye of the father of the groom and the father of the bride and everybody else in the community. But there's no way they would have given you a good man and a woman who's on the streets. the whole village would have come to say, hey, listen, there's no way this guy is marrying this whore. So those, the whores were never married. Whores were known to be whores. Whores are the ones who used to raise bastards. So now we've normalized that, and now we're expecting so much from everybody. We're expecting now these people who've been raised as bastards to go and be husbands. How? What are you guys talking about? These guys who've been raised by weak fathers to go be husbands, what do you think they're going to do? If the father was weak, this guy is going to be weak times 10. So by the time he's leaving that marriage, he's worse off. He should have been born in the streets as a street child. God damn it. Bongo, I wanted to hear from
what's an end for one point, as I encourage people to, honestly, okay. Okay. I'll send you my number because this is really bad. Umesema, oh gosh, you made a very good pitch in every statement. And then Umesema, these people, the damaged people, where do you think the homosexuals have come from? Oh my gosh, that's so wrong. There's no science behind that. You think that people become homosexuals because they come from bad, damaged families? I think it's a philosophical problem. Because, okay, please, I know this is recorded and you want to get it. Oh my gosh, you have to go back to that. What you just said, and I was paying attention. So for you, you think people are homosexuals because they are from a damaged family? That's what you just said today. I keep saying this.
So
oh my gosh.
Let me make that point better so that you can now, put it somewhere. You can keep it as a recording. So every time when you get into your house, just press play. Press play. Okay, I'm trying to bring Sherry up. Just hold on 1 second. So I said, I said these people who are coming from, hold on the hustler. And I interrupted the hustler. I said these people who are coming from the relationship that is not structured and supported by the community, which is these useless marriages that all of you have right now, where both of you are damaging each other. What do you think you're doing to the kids? Because the reason for the man to be with the woman is very different from for the reason from the woman to be with the man. It's not society. It is two liars with each other, lying to each other that they would need to be with each other. Yet one is there for sex, another is there for resources. I mean, it is obvious. The only thing that married men complain about is that there is no sex in marriage. The woman doesn't respect him. She doesn't do what she used to do. Remember what she used to do? Then, on the other hand, the woman, she's there for the money. She's there for the resources. So, this is the reality. So now, these two people.
The one listens to you.
Imagine.
The one listens to you. Okay.
Let me finish the point. Then I swear I'll even go feed the cat. So these two people are fighting for supremacy in this marriage. Okay? They're fighting for power because that's what a marriage is. Eventually, it will be who's the one who's leading. And the woman, who, if she has gone through any university or she studied somewhere, she cannot allow you just to lead. She has been given an opinion. She won't allow you to. So it will be a fight for power. And you guys are fighting and fighting and fighting. And the kids are seeing this. So the kids are growing up damaged. Because they're seeing the man's power being challenged daily by the woman. And if the man ever becomes violent or he raises his voice, it continues to do more damage to the kids. So at some point, these kids are going to resist whatever that looked like. So whatever it is they saw at home, they say, hey, we don't want that. Okay? And they resist it. One day, whatever they are resisting, they shall get into it. Because remember, trauma is going to look for trauma. If you've been traumatized, you're going to look for somebody who's traumatized. So you two traumatized people who've come from relationships that should never exist. Hold up. I don't know who's unmuting. Because now you're taking out my game, Anthony. So you two people who have come from two traumatized backgrounds, you meet and something clicks. And you're like, my God. Deep calling unto deep. Darkness calling unto darkness, trauma calling unto trauma. And the two of you bond. It's called trauma. Somebody gave it a name. It's called trauma bonding. Yeah, you're bonding because of the trauma that you've experienced. And you're two damaged individuals. Imagine now if you were to have kids. If you two were to have kids.
Can I respond to that point?
And make it very quick so that we can start to close it up. Buana.
I agree to every perfect conversation we are making. Please do not tie it into sexual orientation being made by the fact of trauma, family separation, and marriage and everything. Because where the challenge is coming in is that at some point, we may have to start thinking about, like, how do you arrive at this point that we are, or whatever? Because you used this phrase 3 times today. Sorry, don't ask me why I'm tracking that. That you produce homosexuals, you produce lesbians, you produce this. My friend, nobody's producing sexual orientation unless we are missing the scientific discussion about this.
JM, sexual obsession is a psychological damage.
Orientation. Why are you coming with obsession?
No. Sexual obsession is psychological damage. You see, right now, you and I have had a conversation, and I don't know whether you are a homosexual or you are heterosexual or you like cats or you like donkeys. It doesn't matter. If we had started talking about that, then it would mean there's something wrong with us, because how can that be a topic of discussion? So these are hold up. These are the depravities of the mind that are brought about by trauma. So your mind has to create something else to deal with the current situation. So you go to a place. So you create a whole new character to deal with whatever situation you've been given or has been presented to you. Now, did you know that
you come from a worldview?
Hold up. Let me finish the point. I'll give all of you. I swear I'll stay here till 6. So, JM, did you know that a lot of men in marriages are hiding as homosexuals?
Does that produce homosexual children?
Children are what they see. So where are these homosexuals coming from? They're coming from somewhere. So whatever it is you are, your kids are going to be that. If you're a single mother, you're going to raise a single mother. Your daughter is going to be a single mother just like you. Chances are very high. Not all of them, of course. Not 100%, but 99.9%. Single mothers raise single mothers. We've seen that.
Okay, don't do it. We have the data out there. So this 99.9 is kind of the motivational speakers. Oh, 99.9, whatever thing. Okay, please, let's be honest. The big deal. I'm not let you. I know co-host going to speak, but Andrew Kibe, I'm very uncomfortable with the premise that you make that if these people do this, then it's a cause and effect. I think you come from a cause and effect perspective that, fulani kama amuko married, huyu atakuwa homosexual. I'm disturbed by that premise, to be honest. And this is not the discussion for today, but I'll let Anton say, because I know everybody has to take it.
What Kibe is saying is true, and what you're saying is true. The sexuality of a person can be both scientific, but also what Kibe is saying is also equally true. But what we need to look at when Kibe talks about marriage, what he's saying is true, but what people are refusing to come in terms with, like Kibe said, when kids grow up in a home that is dysfunctional, they grow up saying, I don't want this. But equally, there are kids who grow up in a functional marriage and say, I want this. Okay? So both is true, only that the bad when it comes to marriage, let me finish there.
Anthony,
the bad when it comes to marriage,
what is saying about marriage? Marriage and sexual orientation, there's no correlation.
That one I disagree
Marriage
with him.
is perfect. I agree with him 100%. But sexual orientation is where I'm struggling.
Even me, I disagree with him. You are saying sexual orientation is not about marriage. It's the biology of a human being. Okay? It's about the chromosomes, the X and Y's in a human body. Okay? Case in point is the Olympian boxer.
Bullshit.
Okay,
you guys are now. You guys are going to your imagination. Let's go back to reality.
No.
Let's go back. Don't go into science. Forget science.
Kibe, did you see the two lions? Did you see the two lions? Lions, not lionesses, lions that were mating. Actually, here in Kenya.
Yes, I saw them. Yes, I saw
them. Is that so? Where did they learn that from?
Anthony, can I take you on? Anthony.
So that's your whole argument? That homosexuality is in the air or what?
No, my whole argument is the sexuality of a human body, and it's very rare. And that's why I'm saying you're also right when you said something about sexuality is there's the word you've used, Kibe.
Okay, hold up, Anthony. Let's bring Christine here. You and I and JM here, instead of fundraising, we are busy arguing with each other. Christine, save us from ourselves.
Hi, people. Hello.
Go on, Christine. We can hear you. Go on.
Hey, today's conversation is amazing. Now, Kibe, I'm on your case. You've said you're from the street, you've seen the street life, but there's also a group of us who have grown up in healthy homes and wish to have healthy marriages. I've been married for the last 15 years. And one thing I can say is that marriage requires two people who purpose to see the good, because marriage is tough. Marriage, I'll not dispute and say it's a bed of roses, it's a bed of thorns. You just need to know how to handle your thorns, because the times mnakorogananga mpaka unaangalia unasema, do I really need this? And as time goes by, when you shield yourself from the tough side of it, you end up having this masculine energy in yourself that fights the good in marriage. That is being a woman. So I'll say it should get to a point where two people, where they agree, they sit and say, you know what, this is my view, listen to it, understand it. This is your view, I listen to it and I understand it. Then we get to a point of seeing which works. It doesn't have to be the husband's view that works. It just gets to a point where as a woman, you want to feel heard. And once a woman feels heard, she'll not go out looking for places to be heard or sharing her issues with other ladies. If she gets a safe space with a spouse, she will speak her mind, be it something that pleases him or doesn't please him, but at least akona place anaweza jiongea na asikike. But when we all go into the ego side and shield and say your way is your way, you follow my way, yes, the man will bring the structure, he'll bring the ideas, we'll back it up. But it also gets to a point where we also want to feel our points are valid, listen to them, see the good side of it, encourage us on as we encourage you. Don't make it this thing of where the woman has come to submit.
Christine, I have a question. I have a question before you finish your submission. You guys don't make the same. You don't make the same demands of your pastors and your bosses. Why are you making that demand of the man that you're sleeping with, who you call your husband? Isn't this the?
Need a cab? Order Faras. Get 10% cashback in form of Faras miles. Convert your miles to airtime, data, or M-Pesa. Faras. Safe. Affordable. Convenient.
Because when you sit with the ladies, listen to them, you see this is what is going to work. So it gets to a point where you have to stand your ground. I just don't sway. My husband knows that. I will say.
And exactly. So now, Christine, we're exactly where we're exactly where I wanted you to be. So you don't do that. You don't do that with your boss. If you do that, either you resign or he fires you. You cannot stay with him.
No, That one.
Christine. That's what you said. Let's go by what you said. Yes, because you wouldn't take what he's saying. Yes, so either you resign. Either you resign or you follow his lead. Simple.
Yes, if it makes sense, but it's not about
I'm coming to the point. So it's easy for your boss to make those demands of you because it's clear. It's a clear contract.
Because he thinks it's clear, he can make the demand.
Yes, because that's what he's paying you. He can make the demands. That's what paying you means. That I pay you so that I can demand of you something. I don't pay you so that you tell me what to do. I pay you so that I tell you what to do. Okay?
So
if you can't take that, step out of the door is right there. Either you resign or I fire you.
But both ways, Kibe, it gets to a point where if you sit with your staff, or where do we have staff meetings? We get to a place where you sit, we say, as an institution, this needs to be done. This is what will work for the institution. As opposed, if you don't listen to what your staff are saying.
But these are the subordinates. The subordinate. When your boss gives you instructions, you follow. Subordinates are the ones who have these small meetings. You and your children can have a meeting in the house and you tell the children how you want the house run. But when I come to the house, I'm supposed to give you instructions. Now hold up. Christine, hold up. Listen to this point. Okay, even mute your mic so that I can put it across the right way. So for you and your subordinates, you guys can have all the meetings you want. The boss will never come to those stupid meetings. He doesn't have time for that. The boss, his work is to give instructions. Now, there is a protocol of how he's going to receive the information from everybody, including the person who's at the bottom. Okay? And that's why even your Bible tells you the man is at the top, the woman is at the bottom, and the kids are below her, so that there's a protocol of following. All right? Now, if that structure cannot be followed, then the man has to compromise his masculinity so that he can fit into yours. That's why you said even you have developed a masculinity, because this resilience you got is probably from your upbringing. This is trauma that I'm talking to. And now you have found a command that you can use, and now you're going to sit on him for the next 30 years, the way Ali here, but there Ali Sultan. He's been sat on for the last 35 years, and he's okay with it. Same thing with Anthony. But he had to lose his masculinity. He had to take his balls and put them in his wife's purse. Isn't it, Christian?
No. I don't agree with that. Like now, as a coordinator to a place or an institution, you will guide your boss. The slum requires this, but not because we have these foreign donors who expect this. They don't understand the slum women require a certain allowance for time to cater for their staff at home and then come attend courses. So if he doesn't listen, what happens? Will you keep, okay, let's put it in the family context. Will you keep changing wives until you get a woman who hears you?
I believe women to men are unnecessary. Not in the setup of a man and a woman relationship. They're completely unnecessary because a marriage in 2024 is unnecessary. It doesn't work for the man. It only works for the woman. That's why many of you women these days, once you get married, the first thing you do is resign. It's easy to resign. Before you got married, you couldn't resign. You had to listen to your boss. But kichwa ikakuwa kubwa, as long as you know there is a soft landing, you can go cry to your husband and he'll pay rent for the next 10 years.
Kibe, do you know that some of we women just love adding money that, with this money I can do this, and this for ourselves without obviously waiting for your husband to come and do something for you. Do you know the joy of just saying, I would love to cover this, I would love to do this when I have my finances right, I want to have his back on this. Most of us don't enjoy having our husbands having our backs. We want to be there, we want to be loved, we want to earn the money, we want to come and say, babe, I got this, I would love to do this. Is it okay? He okays. If he doesn't okay, you want to know why. Because gone are the days where we had our parents who we now say are the ones who had proper marriages and ended up with blood pressures and sugar levels that are so high because they couldn't speak their thoughts.
Because our fathers were poor. When they came to the city, they were poor. And so our mothers had to work just like our fathers. So our mothers were unable to respect our fathers. And we as the children saw that. So even when we went into our own relationships, we were unable to take what a relationship looks like into those useless relationships. And now we created the Gen Z that not only hates relationships, but is going contrary to everything else.
Kibe, toka kwa shimo yako. Usually in a place where you just do this, but I come from a place, okay, God bless them with more life, because next year they hit their 50th anniversary. And I so admire what they do. I admire how they do it. It's something I would love emulating.
Good. And you are emulating that because you said you've been married what? How many years? 18?
15 years. 15. But I can't see its hiccups, Kibe. It's not like it's been 15 beautiful years. Kuna zile years unasema, oh my gosh, I need grace. Even if you seem good, because even in that good you see in your family, there are those times you see mom quiet, and she says,
so let me ask you,
what?
Christine. Let me ask you. Would you say, Christine, would you say marriage has made you a better you, has improved you in any way?
Yeah, I will say yes. I will say yes.
And you are equally saying that you also were, to your husband, you feel you have improved him in one way or another.
I should also say yes.
Now, you see, Kibe, that's what I was saying. There's a minority of people like Christine who have seen a marriage that works. Listening to her, they have seen a marriage that works and say, I want to replicate this. Now, Kibe, the same way you said, the reason we have a majority of Gen Zs who are saying, I don't want to do anything with this, is because majority have not seen what Christine has seen. But we are concentrating on the majority, and we want to say that the minority does not exist. In any formation of this planet life, there's a minority and a majority. So there are people who, for them, marriage works, and it makes each person. There's a guy who was written on our message.
And Anthony, when has the minority ever made a rule? The rules are for the majority. So let's talk about what's happening. Yes. So you keep your minority to yourself because there is no evidence of that anywhere. Because Christine is talking, but her husband isn't.
One day what we should do is get...
Christine is talking, but her husband isn't. You are talking, but your wife isn't. So everybody is talking from their own position. The other person is probably somewhere in a lodging with somebody else. And you're saying, oh, my marriage is good. You don't know whether it is good. It is good for you. Say, my marriage is good for me. It's good for me because this is the benefit that I get from it. I go in there and every night I get sex, or every night this guy pays my rent and he makes sure that the kids that I've brought to that house are taken well care of. But stop pushing this thing like it's a solution. It's not a solution to anything. Because you guys are telling, hold up, Anthony. You guys are telling men out here that marriage is a good thing, go into it. But it is not a solution to being single. Because being alone is not a problem. Why are you making it look like this is a problem, that when a man is alone, there's something wrong with him? So you guys are shaming men for being alone, and then you're telling them, come here and be miserable with me. No, you do what you want to do, but stop pushing this thing like a religion. The people have resisted church because the fakeness that is in church is the same fakeness that is in marriage. Now, if two people come together in this day and age, and they decide, okay, we want to get married. I like you and you like me. Let's try this thing, okay? And they do a logical meetup. Then there's no problem, yet. But they should not be thinking of getting children because this logical meetup has been brought about by a need through trauma. Because why aren't you comfortable being alone? Why would you need somebody else in your life? That need has compromised you. And as long as you're compromised, what does that say about you? You cannot trust what you're saying. You cannot trust anything that you're doing because you're compromised. So, Christine, right now, some of the things you say here, you cannot say everything because you're compromised. You're married. So even when you come here and you say you're married, I cannot push you as far as I would have pushed anybody else, because you're compromised, and I don't want to. I don't want you to. I want to protect your marriage.
Push.
Same thing with Ali here. Because I met his wife, she compromised me. So now these days I can't push Ali as much as I used to push him, because now I've met his wife. Okay? Imagine me, I am compromised by just the fact that I met her once. Imagine a guy who lives with her. What are you saying, Christine?
Kibe.
One of your sons.
I see your sense, but Kibe, you know what? I have this kind of person. If you want to be single, live single. If you want to sleep around, it's your choice. I think life is about choices. If you want to be single, enjoy the streets. Everybody is free to do what they want, but there's some of us who just enjoy that comfort of knowing I am married, I have a family, I have a husband. That gives us peace. That's the same way you have peace, not being yoked to anybody. But you were once yoked, but you left. If I was to ask you why did you leave, you don't want somebody who will question your thoughts. Kibe.
Oh, is that a real question, or it was rhetorical?
Yeah. No. Like, why would you say you're anti-marriage? Is it because you want the freedom of speech, the freedom of thought? You don't want somebody coming in and asking you why?
Because marriage, as is constituted in 2024, is wrong. It's a mistake. It's a big mistake, and it's causing a lot of damage to our men. So women are already coming into marriage damaged, right? But it's causing a lot of damage to our men because men are exposed. You see, the man is supposed to be protected from the woman. Okay? And that's where her father comes into the picture. So if the father is not there, then there's nobody to leash this woman. So if the father does not exist, or the father has no power over her because he did not raise her the right way, then she cannot make a good wife. Then what she does, she goes into a relationship where she's the dominant one. She's a dominatrix. And woe unto this man if she's working, because now she's going to decide how many kids she gets, right? She's not going to stop working so that she gets kids. That's why these women are getting 2 kids only. So these 2 kids are to show society, you know what, this womb works and I can play with it the way I want. But 2 kids in society, you are a failure. You failed. You're not replenishing the society. So you're lying to us about replenishing the society. The people who replenish society get 8 kids, have multiple wives. But people who get 2 kids, you're not replenishing the society. That is science. Do you know that?
Mm-hmm.
You know that, right? That is just science. You need to have more than 2 kids to replenish the society. So today, if we are 50 million and you guys continue having 2 kids, in another 20 years, we shall be 47 million.
The population, which is okay.
No, we can talk about the population all we want. But you guys are saying that you're coming together because of population. So it's a lie. The people who come together because of population have a contract that is signed, including by the society. The whole society is backing up this marriage to make sure that this marriage works. So you guys who are coming together, just 2 people, who's backing you up? What rules are you using? Because if you're not using any rules, then the woman is going to dominate the man because she has the law on her side and she has sexuality on her side. Now you see in America, and Christine, I know you have studied and you look at YouTube videos, and you're here on X, you look at America, you see the damage that is happening in America. I want you guys to go watch a documentary on YouTube called Divorce Corp. C-O-R-P. You see the men, when they're leaving these relationships, how they look. Is that the kind of man that you want in a society? A man who's been damaged by a stupid relationship? This is a psycho. Now, he went into this relationship thinking that it was an answer because he was already damaged. He was damaged even further. By the time he's living there, you tell me, what's happening to this guy psychologically, Christine?
Well, he's more damaged, but Kibe, let's okay, you're
he's a psycho, he's going to kill everybody he meets.
No, he's just going to destroy more hearts. He's going to sleep around, break hearts.
No, Christine, you see what Kibe is saying is true. It has been researched in the US. One of the reasons in black neighborhoods, crime rate is high, murders are high, drug abuse is high, is because a majority come from the home Kibe has described. Okay? So to be objective, you need to look at it, you don't dispute a fact. So Kibe has a point. That's exactly what I'm saying here. Okay? There are homes, and that's why it got to a point blacks started being told, especially athletes, because they felt encouraged to keep their marriages intact so that they can be the new reflection of a black society. Because they actually could correlate broken homes, and those what Kibe is describing, which is very true, that in the US, divorce is weaponized. They could draw a parallel between that and the animosity in black neighborhoods, both from the males and females. So it's a research. That's why Barack and Michelle are so popular, because they show an image of a perfect black home.
Which Hollywood will not.
No, but you see, we are talking about the streets. Hollywood doesn't need to be on the streets.
But you see, the movies they produce, most of the families are broken. The black people are struggling. The white families seem to have it all together. So it's
but that's the truth, Christine. No, that's the truth. Kibe is telling you he has been there. That's the truth. Yes. If you ask anyone who has been in the US, including JM, black neighborhoods are exactly what Kibe has described. And that's why white neighborhoods are called suburbans, where you have a perfect home, a husband, wife, 4 kids, and a dog and a cat.
And in the black community,
so exactly. So unless, what Kibe is saying is, unless we redefine marriage in 2024, we are defining it in the wrong way. That is exactly what Kibe is saying. People are going into marriage for the wrong reasons. Watu wanaoana kama hawaelewani, hawajajielewa, so watu wakikuja kuishi pamoja hawataelewana. Kibe, am I saying what you're saying?
Ni mwana super sub amekuja mbio hapa hivi. Sijui super sub amefikiria aje. Hebu Christine, mute your mic kidogo tusikie super sub. Or before we hear from super sub, Sherry, you've been here for a minute. Sherry, go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Kibe. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, let me try something. Minute. Okay, to confirm, did you see Ben Taylor in your M-Pesa? Hello, Kibe.
Atandio naangalia, hold up. Okay. I see Gerard Mbuli 100. I see, thank you, Gerard. I see Edson Mwangi 100. Asante sana, Edson. I see 500 from Mwinzi Nduva. Thank you very much, Mwinzi Nduva. Dismas Kisilu, I mentioned him, 1,000. Bentail Barasa, 500. Yeah.
Okay, that's my name. Thank you.
Got it.
Yeah. So.
Thank you, Sherry. Bentail.
Yeah, that's my name.
Waluya na majina.
Okay, so mimi, I want to say, kwa hii mjadala ya marriage, I don't think marriage is supposed to be that complicated. Yeah, because myself, I've been married for 7 years. And in a different community, I'm married to Gikuyus, but it's not that complicated. Of course, it has challenges, but yeah. But now it needs someone who's always ready to put in work, because I always say marriage works, but marriage is work. And again, these are two people that have met waki grow. And for me, I can say what brings marriage together is two people have the same goal. And the first goal inakwanga to start a family. And now, other than starting a family, there are other goals that myself I have and he has, and that we have together for our family. But now I can say that it starts being complicated when people have their tasema nini, people are selfish, yeah, mtu uko selfish ama umeingia hapo na a different mission, labda you're going there to gain more than the other partner, ama like you're not giving in. You're not like giving in, you're just taking, you're not giving in. It can be a man or either a woman. But for me, it's working really well. Nakumbuka kwanza yangu ni long distance. Yeah. Bwanangu alikuwa Dubai for 2 good years. Alirudi. Sasa yeye anakaa na watoto juu ni vijana anafaa wa direct. Na mimi sasa ndio niko nje. And it's not complicated at all. Communication iko sawa. Kila kitu inaendelea vizuri. We've never had cases of cheating. And you know, like for me, it's not really complicated. So I can say in 2024, marriage is still working, Kibe. I don't know about others, but it's still working. Yeah, Sante.
Oh, so I mean, so for you being in such a long distance relationship, cheating is not a big deal.
Not that cheating is a big deal. We have never had that issue. Because, you know, like Kibe, look, I know, okay, it's really hard even for me to tell other people that me, I've never cheated on my husband. And I believe he has never cheated on me, of which, it's okay. I don't feel it. I don't see it. You know, kama juzi nimekuwa vacation like in April and I'm going back in December. Na nimekuwa hapo like, it's okay. It's not that I'm going there naenda kuangalia simu yake au kwa simu yangu. But tunajipata kila mtu ako na simu mwingine at I go with it. Maybe town wherever. It's not a big deal. Okay, we've never had that issue at all. Of which if it happens, it's not I'm not responsible for that. He is responsible for that because all of us have one goal. And that goal is to ensure that this marriage works. You understand? And yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Because Naskia, you're almost in it. So for you, marriage is, you feel you bring out the best in your husband and your husband brings out the best in you. I'm not saying you're not good, you're not responsible, but you improve each other. You make each other better. And I can tell you for the last 7 years, the way he found me is not the same way I am. And he can also confess the same, not that he's here, but he can also, because he tells me every day. You understand? Venye nilimpata si venye yako, nata mimi, I have grown a lot. You know, I'm more focused, I'm more determined. I now understand things differently. You know, kitambo vitu zilikuwa zinaweza nifanya nikasirike bure. They no longer matter at all. Yeah, like I've really, really grown emotionally, spiritually, like, and it's because of this marriage. Yeah. So for me, I think it really works. And it's a good thing. People should try it. It's a good thing. You see, you're bringing out a point I've been trying to tell people. It's when I say a marriage makes a person more focused, it doesn't mean that person wasn't focused. But someone else comes and improves. Let me say improves on your focus. Like, mtu anaweza kuja, wewe kitambo ulikuwa unanunua plot ya 50 by 100. Okay? Your husband can come and tell you, I know that's a good idea. What if now we buy an acre and we become the sellers to subdivide, sasa to move from 40 by 100 to tunaweza uza hizo 40 by 100. That's what I mean. You make each other.
You make each other better.
Poverty. Your poverty stinks to high heaven. Both of you, poverty has brought you together. And
this has nothing.
Hold up. And the only thing that is keeping Sherry together with her husband is because they never are in the same place at any time. The only time they see each other is when they want to do a little something, and then they move away and go back to doing what people don't exist in this. What are you saying? Hold up.
You know, before tuanze kuishi long distance, we were living together. That's why we got 2 kids. Tuko na watoto wawili, 4 years and 7 years. So tulikuwa pamoja. You know, we were together when we had no money.
But it was not working to a point where he had to leave. Alafu akarudi sasa yeye ndo anareizwa toi like the good father, the compromised man that he is. And now you became the man and you're out there now making the money for the family.
No. No, hapana si hivyo ndiko. Cheki.
What do the children ask about their father? What do you answer?
Yes.
Where is the father?
Father to who?
To the children, because the father is not there present all the time. Because children will compare, why is daddy not here all the time? Like other daddies.
What do you mean the father? Okay, maybe ukupata vizuri.
Jo haukupata vizuri. Amesemaje? Umse alikuwa ameenda. He ran away for 2 years. He worked. Joe, I hope you're listening.
Yes,
Alihepa for 2 years. As soon as alirudi, Ude makarealize hawawezi ishi pamoja, hata yeye akatafuta job huko majuu, akamwambia wacha niende pia mimi nitafute kazi yangu. Hold up guys, wacha ni mention hizi M-Pesa before tuendelee. Steven Ochieng ametuma asante sana Steven Ochieng, na Moirore Jowona ametuma 500. So far JM ameenda wapi? All right, continue Sherry.
Sasa si hivyo Kibe.
Maybe she can clarify that part.
Let me tell you. Okay, this is what happened. When we met, he had his own dreams. Unapata na tukikutana alikuwa shaikwa Qatar before, na dream yake bado ilikuwa ni kurudi either Dubai or Canada or pali pengine. Okay, he had those dreams, so he was sharing with me his dreams. Na sasa venye tulikuwa pamoja, I was in Java and he was in another restaurant.